You're gonna have to go through hell. Worse than any nightmare that you ever dreamed. But in the end, I know you'll be the one standing.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to BACKTRACK Cinema. In this review, we'll be taking a look at Rocky IV. So get your popcorn, get your drinks, get comfy, and let's talk about Rocky IV. Rocky IV was released in 1985, written and directed by Sylvester Stallone, and starring Sylvester Stallone, Carl Weathers, Dolph Lundgren, and Talia Shire. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Jason. Welcome back to BACKTRACK Cinema, and welcome to my review of Rocky IV. All right, guys, we're pushing along with Rocky IV. Creed 3 is just on the horizon. I probably won't see it for a bit, but this is the road to Creed 3. Let's get through these Rocky movies, get through the Creed movies. We'll have a lot of fun doing that. Now, Rocky IV is definitely a fan favorite. From a lot of Rocky fans I talk to, this one seems to be their go-to Rocky film. A lot of people just love this movie. I don't think there is a bad Rocky film in the whole franchise, but this one I don't love as much as other people do. This one I have a lot of mixed things about it. The Rocky versus Drago, I think I'll do a separate review on it. Rocky IV from 1985, over the top 80s goodness, introducing us to Dolph Lundgren as Ivan Drago, this, the quiet, deadly type kind of villain, opposed to the Clever Lang, who was just out to murder, maim, kill, running his mouth all the time too, entertaining as hell. So Stallone went with a completely different kind of villain in this one. And killing Apollo Creed, setting up this great bromance friendship from Rocky 3, then killing him, ballsy move, man. I gotta admit, ballsy move. So when Rocky Balboa's friend Apollo Creed takes on a fight and gets killed in the ring, Rocky must go into the ring one last time and fight his deadliest foe ever. This film is definitely a product of its time, but pure entertainment. Just good, pure Rocky entertainment. What Stallone learned from Rocky 3, I think he got a certain pacing he liked. Paced like an action film, I'd say. Rocky IV is no different. Rocky IV is filled with a really fast pace. So really good, fast pace, lots of montages. There's some great rock music in this, which is kind of mixed on me. I think there's a lot of filler in this movie. I think this movie has tons of filler. The whole James Brown act, him singing, No Easy Way Out. I love the montages at the end. We'll get to them, but I find there's a lot of filler going on in this movie. I mean, for me, I think you could have worked things around differently. You still could have had No Easy Way Out, but what if Rocky would have went to like Mickey's old gym or something like that? It was taking kind of this anger, and he's thinking about Apollo on the heavy bag or something with that track playing. I think maybe something like that you would have got some more. It would have felt more character driven and stuff like that. Never liked the robot stuff either. The robot stuff, I'm glad he cut that in Rocky versus Drago. I've never been a fan of that, especially during the scene where the robot shows up when Apollo's like pouring his heart out to say, I know I can beat him. It's supposed to be a serious moment, and then you completely distract the whole scene with this robot coming in. Just didn't understand why, other than Paulie having a birthday, there was no reason for this robot. But I love where Apollo Creed is at emotionally in this movie. I love that he's kind of the lost one now. Not so much like Rocky was down and out number 3. Apollo's not down and out, but the attention's not on him anymore. Rocky is the champion, been the champion for a while, and Apollo's just like, I don't think it's a jealousy thing. It's just that people have forgotten about Apollo, and he still has that desire to fight. He's a fighter, right? He was the best for so many years, so he's having this hard time of just letting go of all that and just moving on. Like that big speech he gives Rocky, you're still on top, but where do we go? Where do we go from here when all our whole life has been fighting?
You and me, we don't even have a choice. See, we're born with a killer instinct that you can't just turn off and on like some radio. We have to be right in the middle of the action because we're the warriors. And without some challenge, without some damn war to fight, then the warrior may as well be dead, Stallion.
Like, I just love the emotion he brings. Like, where we go, Stallion? And then when this challenge comes along from Russia, Apollo sees this as a political thing too. Apollo always understood the politics of boxing and the business side, and that side of the of his career and everything. Or Rocky was, was a ham and egger when we first met him, just fighting to put food on the table. You know what I mean? So really two different kind of guys here. But I love seeing Apollo kind of in this state of where he just needs one more fight to prove that he could still do it. You know what I mean? That he can beat this guy. And sadly, it doesn't turn out that way. He takes the fight really lightly and gets killed. Rocky wants to keep that memory and keep that everything that Apollo was alive. And by doing that, taking on this Russian at the end. At the same time, you just want to shake Apollo so much and say, just listen to Rocky. Just listen to Rocky. This is not going to end well for you, right? And Rocky's just like, Rocky's really trying to, what Rocky has learned, right? Rocky's trying to teach him now, saying, maybe we should postpone, get you trained, get you ready, right? And Apollo just laughs it off. He thinks, well, you talk like I'm an old man, but how far Rocky has come. He's his own man in this movie. He don't need a trainer. He don't need a coach anymore. He's very matured. Everything he learned from 3 about thinking for yourself, not being afraid, all this kind of stuff is excellent. That's one thing I like about this. This is a very mature Rocky Balboa. It really feels Rocky, his weight is too smart for what this character is supposed to be. Well, where we saw him in number 1 and 2, and even 3, you know what I mean? It's like his IQ has gone up, you know what I mean? That's probably just Stallone taking Rocky to showing Rocky in a new light, I guess. The Rocky from the Rocky 3 and Rocky 4, like that 80s Rocky, it has a little bit of a different feel than Rocky 1 and 2. And one thing I would have liked to see in this movie at the beginning is Rocky go through a couple more fights and some kind of a montage or something to show how good he really is, like him going up number 1 contenders and laying them out. I think we needed something like that to show how good Rocky really was, because we're just like, he beat Clubber Lang, that's all nice, but could he keep repeating that? Does he still have the eye of the tiger, the hunger, and all that kind of stuff? I think I would just would have liked to seen that. And Stallone handles both the fights really well. I like the Drago Apollo fight too. I think it's fantastic because of the emotion that's running through it. You know what I mean? When he's ready to lay out Creed and, Rocky's not throwing the towel, he's pausing the promise to his friend. And then you see Duke going, throw the damn towel. Oh, man, the emotion that runs through you is fantastic, man. So all that really, really works. And the training montages at the end here, or the training montages in Russia, great music going along with them. I really do like them. I like the running in the snow. I like the whole idea of Rocky training really naturally. He's really primal. He's got the beard going on, and Drago's in a nice warm environment. They're spying on Rocky, and they're mimicking everything on a machine. And that's the thing. This is like a human being, man, versus like this machine training. It almost reminds me of like Rocky taking the Terminator on or something. That's what I mean by the over the top part of this film. But I love it. I love Hearts on Fire, and I love the music. The Vincent DeColia music that's going on when he's running and goes up to the mountain. Seeing Adrian come back and said, I'm with you, Rocky, no matter what. Absolutely love it. Adrian's kind of more in the background than this movie. Adrian's still there. She still has her moments. In Rocky versus Drago, she has better moments. He cut a lot of Talia Shire stuff. Yeah, but the montages are great. They get you excited. They're entertaining, get you jacked. And the fight. Stallone claims the best fight in any Rocky movie. The work he put into this fight. And you can really see it, man. You can really see how in shape Dolph Lundgren and Sylvester Stallone were, and how they were just really hitting each other. So much so that he put Stallone in the hospital by moving his heart or something like that. Hit him so hard in the chest. And then comes back after, finishes the fight. And it really is a great fight. It really is an entertaining fight. I like how he cuts it. In this fight, sometimes there's a cut with every punch, and this really moves that fight along, really makes you feel the punches. And Dolph Lundgren being this freaking huge ass person. I was never really big on the music going along with this fight though. I think we needed more traditional Rocky music. I think would have worked better, but I could still get behind it. The score going through the fight, I was never huge on. I think there's much better ones in this series. And I personally think, talking to a good YouTube buddy, James Grimm, give him a big shout out. We've both talked about this before, about how Rocky should have had the beard in the fight, left the beard on. You imagine if Rocky had that beard going against Drago, how primal Rocky would have been. Primal training. He looks primal. He looks almost Neanderthal like, right? The way he fights, going through the body, you know what I mean? It would have been primal against this finesse machine like guy who hits his targets, has the power, has everything. I just think that would have looked so cool if Stallone would have kept the beard on for the fight. And with a lot of these filler scenes, the music and everything, sometimes this movie just feels like a music video. And I think that's one of my biggest problems with it. It just feels like a music video where I think they could have added a lot more character moments in. And Rocky versus Drago, I'll do on another video, really changes a lot of that because it adds a lot of character moments, right? And I feel like this one lacks a lot of character moments. Like, there's some good stuff in there, don't get me wrong, but for a Rocky movie, I always expect really emotional, big, character-driven stuff, right? But like I said, guys, I don't have a bad time with any of these movies. There's just some mixed feelings on this movie. It's not my go-to Rocky film, you know what I mean? I prefer, like, Rocky 3, actually, over Rocky 4, but I still have a great time with this movie. It's got some good emotion. You know, the Rock soundtrack is absolutely great. The fight's great. You always get behind Rocky. Killing Apollo Creed was just such a ballsy move. So I'm going to give Rocky 4 a solid B. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments below what you think of Rocky 4. We'll have a good discussion about that. Check out my other Rocky reviews here. I'll post them there. Go down the rabbit hole there. And I will see you on the next video. And I will see you in the movies, man. Cheers.